So we know that in all narratives there has to be some element of opposition to drive forward the story. Okay, so without a problem, without a disruption, without a sense of conflict, you do not have a narrative because nothing really moves forward or goes towards anything. So often the binary opposition within a text is the conflict that needs to be solved in order for the quest to be solved or the quest to be succeeded in by the hero. So if we think about all those components, once we've identified the binary oppositions within our advert, we can start to think about the meaning behind them and the reason why the advertiser or the producer of the advert wanted to emphasize them. So for instance, if we think about the binary opposition of clean versus dirty in the OMO advert, this sense that what we want, the quest, is for bright white linens and clothes, and what's going to prevent us from getting there is dirt or sort of contamination on our clothes, or a substandard washing powder that won't be as good as OMO. So the conflict is clean versus dirty, bright whites versus less than bright whites, and therefore the quest is to achieve that clean laundry. Now, what happens is in the OMO advert, that becomes what you need to succeed in the quest, to defeat the binary opposition, to defeat the enemy, the villain, in conflict with your goal. And so in that case, the product itself becomes the solution to the conflict. So one reason why you would present a binary opposition in a text is in order to demonstrate what you require to solve that conflict and then to provide that for consumption. Another reason you might create a binary opposition is to create relatable engagement. So another binary opposition that might be involved in the OMO advert would be something like the sort of stress and workload versus perfection. So the kind of elements of femininity or being a woman, the idea that you're constantly doing something and busy and stressed versus looking like you're completely calm and in control. And that binary opposition of 1950s femininity is relatable to the audience. So when you see the model, the beautiful Caucasian woman in the advert who is obviously in the middle of something and she's got things chucked over her shoulder and she's in the midst of putting her washing up, so she's clearly busy, she's also beautifully coiffed. So we've got the kind of opposition there, and there's the sense that the OMO product, again, will enable this woman to be both, to achieve that perfection and to defeat the workload and maintain her beauty. And then lastly, another reason why you might emphasize a binary opposition is to emphasize the value and the properties and the advantages of the product. So if you present a kind of conflict or struggle and then you present the product as being the only solution, you are emphasizing the value that it has in the life of the hero, which could be the model in the advert or the consumer themselves. So essentially, you're presenting a problem and presenting what's going to get you out of it. And that can be done in several ways across the advert, but the ones I've explained are probably the most prevalent in a print advertisement like this one.